it's that time again for our big board and our team of insiders standing by live for more in this morning's top stories. And we're getting our money's worth out of Dominique today. We're going to have you doing some exercises in our last half hour.
That'll be exciting.
Yeah, it is. Okay. I know you
I'll be
can't
sweating
wait for that. But we are going to start with a highly anticipated first debate between Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump. With the September 26th showdown fast approaching, lots of speculation about how the candidates are preparing. ABC's John Carl is joining us. So, John, let's start with Donald Trump first. How is he prepping for the first debate?
Well, you know, the big news that came out was the meeting that Trump had with Roger Ailes, of course, the former Fox News chairman and one of the most experienced and skilled political debate preparers in the history of presidential politics. The campaign says he is not really an advisor, Robin. It's not an informal or formal role, but they acknowledge they had a long conversation at one of Trump's golf courses. And you may remember this, but back in 1984, when Ronald Reagan was pressed about his age, and he said he would not exploit the youth and inexperience of his opponent, Walter Mondale. It was Roger Ailes that was credited with coming up with that line, one of the most memorable ever.
So, John, tell us this. Whose job is it going to be to stand in that room with Hillary Clinton and throw at her all the possibilities that could come her way from Donald Trump? And really, does it come down to how she reacts? Could make or break her in that first debate.
God, would you want that job? I mean, could you imagine? Your job is explicitly to get under Hillary Clinton's skin. The campaign won't say. My guess is that it would be Bob Barnett, who has played Bernie Sanders during the primary debate prep. He's worked with Hillary Clinton for a long time, and he's done this stuff for many, many, many years. But that is one tough job, David, because you have to throw out all of the stuff the campaign fully expects that Trump will throw everything at her, including all of the stuff about her personal life, Bill Clinton's affairs, and all of that. It won't be an easy job.
All right, John Carl with us, one of our insiders.
Huge numbers for that too. They're talking about Olympic-sized numbers, Super Bowl numbers of viewers
that
watching.
First debate, yeah.
We'll see.
Now to a stunning moment caught on camera, serving as a warning to all homeowners. Look at this. This was a woman inside someone else's home. This had been an open house. An open house, folks, where people can come right in. It's Houston, Texas. The real estate agent steps away. The woman appears to steal a bottle of prescription medication. HGTV host and realtor Egypt Sherrod joins us this morning. Egypt, great to have you as one of our insiders this morning. And listen, we've all had an open house at some point or another, and it's not something you think about, but does this happen often? I mean, you're opening your doors up to strangers.
Well, good morning, first and foremost. But what I will say is this is not the norm. However, over the years, I have heard of several occurrences that would just shock you. Anything from a realtor showing the house to other buyers, and then they wander in the kitchen and notice that other would-be buyers are eating food out of the homeowner's cabinet and refrigerator. Or, you know, three people distracting a realtor while one walks around the house casing the joint. It happens.
Oh, so what can people do to prevent this from happening, Egypt?
What I would say is just be smart. Number one, hide your valuables, any expensive jewelry, electronics, laptops, lock it up so that it doesn't develop legs all of a sudden and walk away. And then conceal your personal information. Many times people will think they locked everything away, but they've left their mail or social security cards out. It is common that people will snatch your information and therefore steal your identity. Another thing is ask your realtor to require a sign-in sheet when people come in your house and ask for IDs. If someone is there for the wrong reason, they could sign the wrong name. But if you ask for an ID, chances are it will ward them off.
Ooh, that's some good advice right there.
Thank you. And then if you're the type of person that leaves a spare key near your garage hanging on the wall, hide those spare keys. Chances are someone, if they're there to case the joint or come back and steal something, they'll snatch those keys and walk right out. And then lastly, when you return home, this is a big one, make sure you check all of your doors to make sure they're locked as well as your windows. It has happened where someone's walked right by, unlocked the window, and came back later to basically rob the place.
Thank you. This is all really good.
We'll never have an open house again.
No.
These are great tips,
these are great tips, and good luck finding anything in my refrigerator that you want to eat. Now to a fierce debate about sportsmanship at the Olympics. Shaunae Miller's dramatic dive for gold in the women's 400 meters. It's legal, but it sparked backlash, as you know, on social media. But this isn't the first time something like this has happened. We talked a little bit about this yesterday, Dominique, and you said when it comes to the Olympics, by any means necessary, but people are saying, really?
Yes, really. Really, people have to put things in perspective. I did the calculations. From my first Olympic Games to my second Olympic Games, I was training 7,280 hours in the gym as a kid for my first to second Olympic Games, 1992 Barcelona, 1996 Olympic Games. You will do whatever it takes to win a gold medal within the rules. In my sport, I am held at the mercy of the judges. So really, I have no control. Shaunae Miller had full control, and if you have to dive to get across that finish line first and it's legal, then you do it.
Because we've seen different things like this happen in sports.
In 2008 Olympic Games in Beijing, David Neal did it. So, you know, it was him beating a Bahamian athlete. It was an American diving past a Bahamian athlete. So I think a lot of people do have a problem with the fact that this is a Bahamian athlete beating the great Allison Felix, who is a friend, who's on the President's Council with me, and she's a great girl.
We can't forget the hug, though, last night, because that taught us the opposite, right?
Yeah, that's sportsmanship. Yeah.
Great sportsmanship.
Yeah.